Hello everyone and welcome to our first time playthrough of SpongeBob SquarePants: A Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. That's right, the famous internet famous game, SpongeBob SquarePants: Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's known as one of the greatest licensed games of all time. I actually made a video about this on my main channel that you can also check out if you're interested. It's been doing really well lately. We're going to be doing our first time playthrough on the recent HD remake that just came out. So, as always, I'm Shadowstreak, and with me I have...
Taylor.
And together we're going to be playing through this game, so if you want to go ahead and get us started, we can jump right into it.
See him grab his nose?
Yes, he did. He was doing the nose whistle thing.
I don't like how he looks.
I think he's fine.
I don't know, he seems too...
Square. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right in. New game.
Welcome to Bikini Bottom, a normally peaceful undersea sanctuary. Today it will be transformed into a theater of pure horror, wherein our little yellow friend will play the starring role.
Today is the big day. I have devised an ingenious plan to finally steal the Krabby Patty formula. And if Bikini Bottom happens to get demolished in the process, oh well. With my brand new Duplicatotron 3000, I'll clone an army of robots that will wreak mayhem and destruction at my command. One last review of the checklist. Let's see. Item number 1. Is Plankton a genius? Answer yes. Okay, checklist complete. Throw in the switch. Welcome, my perfectly obedient robot army. Hang on. I want to get a photo for my scrapbook. Hey, hello? What do you think you're doing? Oh, no, wait. But I'm your master. I made you. No, oh, my good China.
Another perfect day playing robots and racehorses.
Yeah, only I keep getting the racehorses and the robots mixed up.
Wouldn't it be great if we had real robots to play with, Patrick? I'd name mine Robo Jr. or Zorlon or maybe Frankie.
Yeah, these unreal robots are getting boring. Hey, what if we put the robots in here?
Oh, how shellfish of you.
It's not just any shell. It's my magic wishing shell.
Wow, that's great, Patrick.
So we put the toy robots in here.
Okay.
Then we say the magic wishing words and shake the magic wishing shell.
Okay.
Then we go to sleep, and in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with!
But Patrick, aren't we going to say the magic wishing words?
You already did!
So, okay is the magic wishing word?
It used to be Alakazama Alabala Wiesna Tikitana Fushbar Griddle Bits von Wiederschnauzer, but I kept forgetting it.
Are you sure this'll work?
Sure! Last week, I only had one big cookie crumb and I was really hungry. So I put my cookie crumb in the magic wishing shell. Then I said the magic wishing word and shook it. And in the morning, I had lots of little cookie crumbs.
Patrick, I proclaim that tomorrow is going to be the best day ever.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Good night, Patrick.
The next morning.
Gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with... Whoa! Gary, did you do that?
Yeah, Gary. It sure looks like we're in a doozy of a pickle. I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot in order to fix this mess.
Alright, and welcome back. We are going to go ahead and get started with the game. You can go ahead and go through the text boxes. I don't really see an issue with us talking over the actual dialogue that's not cutscenes, because again, you can read the subtitles while we're speaking, so... First things first, anyone who's familiar with the original game will immediately realize that all of the audio, the voice recordings, and the sound effects, and not the sound effects, but all of the voice recordings and lines, everything is ripped straight from the original game.
This is going to be a very long
Everything is
day.
ripped from the original game. So, you know, there's nothing that was re-recorded for this game, which means characters like Mr. Krabs and Mermaid Man, who we'll be hearing later on, do not actually have the original voice actors, just like the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 version did not have those voice actors. So we can go ahead and get right into this. As you can see, it's a 3D game, most notably known as being a collectathon platformer, if you want to go ahead and talk to that typewriter, actually. I apologize if these first couple parts are very, you know, commentary heavy, because there is a lot of things to talk about just right off the bat.
As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been,
But as you can hear, that's clearly not Clancy Brown, Mr. Krabs. That's an imposter.
Wow, a promotion!
That's right, a promotion. So what this here
See,
new job
Oh,
entails
yeah, that's not
is
Mr.
you
Krabs. That's
collecting all
I forget
these
who it
shiny
is. I'll
objects that the
put
robots are leaving
a thing on
behind,
screen.
bringing them to me.
But yeah,
Now
they did
stop
not
the
get Clancy
seahorses
Brown
around
to
and get busy
re-record lines
collecting.
for this, which is a damn shame. I mean, I understand they obviously couldn't get Mermaid Man's lines re-recorded because Ernest unfortunately passed away quite some time ago. But Clancy Brown definitely could have re-recorded his lines for it. But I believe from what I've seen online, it was an order from Nickelodeon that they just used the original dialogue. I don't think it was the developer Purple Lamp's decision to do that. I could be wrong. But right off the bat, anyone who's familiar with the original game can see this game looks beautiful. The graphics are stellar. However, there are some things that are a little different from what we're used to in the original version of the game. And there will be a lot of comparisons throughout the playthrough, because obviously this is a remake, so it's pretty much asking to be compared to the original. I also love how that sign is literally clipping through SpongeBob right there. But yeah, this is the tutorial level inside SpongeBob's house, and what I love about this tutorial level is that every single room is dedicated to teaching you something. That room was dedicated to teaching you about the shiny objects, which is the currency of this game, basically the main collectibles. This sign, I want you to talk to that sign. This sign teaches you about health. So, SpongeBob will lose a pair of underwear every time he gets hit by a robot or touches dangerous objects or surfaces, like this. Once SpongeBob has lost all his underwear, he must start that area back over again. So yeah, it's just your health. Yeah, so you can check it anytime by pressing R2. One thing I liked about the original game was that I don't know if you actually lost health, because the thing did not show up in the top left, I noticed. But in the original game, your health would show up in the top left and you would take actual damage, which was nice. A nice little fun detail. But yeah, this game does have a lot of humor to it. The original and the remake, obviously. One thing that is different from the original is that a lot of the tikis, actually, as we're seeing, look more akin to their original concept art designs. We'll definitely be seeing that later with like the Thunder Tiki. Okay, so this room actually teaches you about all of SpongeBob's different moves. For example, SpongeBob has a couple bubble moves in his arsenal because bubbles are one of his favorite activities. So, as this is telling you, if you press the circle button in the air, you will do a ground stomp. If you press the triangle button when on the ground, you'll do the bubble bash, which is a pretty interesting move. If you want to go ahead and show that off. So yeah, that was the bubble bash. So that lets you shoot up vertically. And then if you press square, you have your basic attack, which is that right there. And let's see, I believe that's all of the moves you get to start, but you will be getting more moves later on in the game as we progress. But you know, we'll see those when we get to there. So if you actually want to jump on top of that ball, there's a switch up there that you need to press. Yeah, that switch up there, you need to jump on the ball to press it. There you go. And SpongeBob obviously also has a double jump, like most platformers do, except Mario. Mario doesn't have a double jump, but I see you're having a lot of fun with this ball.
I'm tired of it. I can't get that little thing.
Well, actually, a nifty little detail is that unlike the original game, as you can see, the developers for this game actually put in a little divot in the ground for the ball to stay in. Also, you're going to want to get on that trampoline before the time runs out. So jump on that and then go right on that board. You're gonna want to hurry. And then keep going. And there you go. That is one of the 80 socks that are, I believe there's 80 socks in this game. We'll be getting into those in quite a little bit, but, or not quite, but a little bit, so. Yeah, but in the original game there was no divot there, so the ball was actually more of a pain to get to stay in that one spot. But thankfully the developers actually thought ahead. If you want to actually go ahead and watch the TV really quick before you go in that room.
Breaking news! Bikini Bottom residents have been attacked by a raging torrent of robot horror!
So much for fixing this quietly.
Authorities are not sure who is responsible for unleashing the mechanical menaces, but they have assured us that the person is in big, big trouble!
Uh-oh.
Did I say big trouble? I meant so enormous that it's hard to comprehend trouble. We'll keep you posted as this tragic story unfolds. Tragically, we're sure.
And then if you want to go ahead and actually hit the TV with your bubble wand. Oh no! Okay, so there's one thing that's different in the remake. In the original game, whenever you'd hit the TV, a different image would show up on screen. It was a little fun, but I guess they did not put that in this version. And this right here is the Golden Spatula. That is your main collectible of the game. Think of them like the Power Stars in Mario, basically. You know, or the Jiggies in Banjo-Kazooie.
A Jiggy?
Or the Dragons in Spyro. Yeah, so... let's see. So that's it for SpongeBob's house. That's the tutorial level, just to kind of get you in tune with how the game works. If you want to go ahead and head outside, we can get into the main hub world of the game, Bikini Bottom.
Yay.
Ah, there's nothing like the sounds of your own neighborhood.
Go away, SpongeBob. You're polluting my thinking space.
Trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula again, eh, Plankton? Well, you won't get away with it.
I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to figure out how to regain control of the chum bucket from those robots.
Where did they come from?
Where? I don't know. Not for me, though, that's for sure. They just showed up out of nowhere and started calling me rude names and
That's terrible.
Oh, won't you help me stop them? Before they bend all my fork?
Not the forks! Of course I'll help. But wait, I'm supposed to collect a whole lot of golden spatulas.
Golden spatulas, eh? SpongeBob, if you could get me back into the chum bucket, I'll give you a bucket full of golden spatulas. In your dreams.
You've got a deal.
Alright, so yeah, that's the basic plot of the game, is you're getting the golden spatulas so you can progress through. But yeah, as you can see right there, that's a Thunder Tiki, which actually isn't in the original game. That Thunder Tiki is not there, so that's actually an interesting addition. And yeah, that Thunder Tiki isn't there either. I wonder why they put that there.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, so if you want to go ahead and talk to Bubble Buddy, he's actually kind of your bubble move tutorial
Bubble
guy.
Buddy. Oh, he's so thick.
Bubble Buddy.
Bubble Buddy, yeah.
You see,
There's all sorts of different SpongeBob characters that we'll be seeing, but Bubble Buddy is actually one of the mainstays in this one, which is pretty cool because he was kind of just a one-off character in the show for such a long time. And at the time that this game came out, he only had one episode.
Something about new bubble moves?
But yeah, so this is where Bubble Buddy will teach you about bubble moves. In this case, he's teaching you about the Bubble Bash, which is your triangle attack, which we've already gone over. Another difference between the remake and the original game, actually, is that the Bubble Bash in this game goes up a lot faster. It definitely feels like the attack is not as slow as it is in the original. Not that the original was slow, but it feels like it was a bit floatier. And that's a general...
Floatier.
That's a general conception I've seen a lot of people say about this game, is that the physics are not one-to-one like the original game. And anyone who plays this and is familiar with the original would probably agree with that, because, yeah, the physics are definitely not one-to-one. So if you want to go ahead and maybe talk to Mr. Krabs while you're right there.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
So Mr. Krabs is pretty much just as big of a cheapskate as always, and he's going to ask you to collect shiny objects and give them to him because they're worth money.
Can I tell you something really quick?
What?
Mr. Krabs, his claws, they're meaty.
But because you're gullible, I'm
Big
gonna
meaty
help you out.
claws.
Yes.
But yeah, so he's basically just telling you to collect shiny objects and give them to him so you can get golden spatulas in return. So yeah, if you want to keep going. This Battle for Bikini Bottom's hub world, Bikini Bottom, is actually, I think, one of the best hub worlds ever designed in a video game, because it's not so big and open that there's nothing to do, like, say, Sonic 06, but it's also not, like, super small and compact to the point where it feels pointless. There's, you know, just nifty little fun things to do and fun locations to explore, like you can actually go inside Squidward and Patrick's house if you want. I would not, well, I mean, you can do this now if you want. It doesn't really matter, but you're going to want to get on top of Patrick's rock and then get on that platform right there. Careful.
I did that on purpose.
Sure you did.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to come get this guy first.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
So actually, if you want to, you're not going to make it in time.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't. I mean, you can get the golden underwear, which gives you a health expansion. Wow, you actually made it. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck you,
I'm pretty
Jason.
sure.
Fuck you!
Okay, well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't have made it in the original. But,
Oh.
there, again, another complaint I've seen people say is that because this game has the exact same layout as the original game, but the physics are different, it makes certain jumps a little easier to make.
Nice sock.
Also, this is another aspect of the game that it's going to be having you doing is collecting Patrick's socks. You've already gotten one, like you saw in SpongeBob's quote-unquote attic.
Well, they're lost. A bunch of robots.
But basically, Patrick wants you to go around collecting all of his socks, and when you collect 10 socks, he'll give you a golden spatula. There are 80 socks in the game.
You mean spatula?
Bless you.
And all of the dialogue, like I said, is exactly the same as the original. Not just the voice recordings, but also the text. Everything is, like, unchanged, which I appreciate because, you know, anyone who's, like, a purist for the original game, that's how I'd want it to be. The only things we could really have asked for was Mr. Krabs and Mermaid Man's lines re-recorded, but we've already been over why that didn't happen. So that's kind of Nickelodeon's decision from what I'm told, or what I've seen online anyways. I wasn't told directly, but you get what I mean. So the only thing left to do before going into the first level is go inside Patrick and Squidward's houses. I would recommend going in Patrick's house first, just because Patrick's is not nearly as exciting as Squidward's. Also, the loading screen is almost exactly the same, but I think the bubble animation in the original was actually more interesting because the bubbles were actually animated as they rose up, versus in this where they're kind of just PNGs. But, you know, it's not a big deal. And if you break that couch, you get a sock. So, there you go. And that's Patrick's house. And they don't have the music player in there either, which is really interesting because in the original game, they actually had a music player there that you'd hit and it would play really loud, a really loud song. I don't know what the song was. It was just kind of randomly in there, but yeah. So what do you think of the game so far?
Dope.
That's it?
Well, dope.
Okay. All right. So
No, it's actually.
Go ahead.
It's actually pretty good. I like how it looks.
Yeah, I think the graphics are 10 out of 10. It looks gorgeous. I also think the animations that they gave the characters are glorious because the original game didn't have nearly as complex animations. But yeah, handsome Squidward. That was not in the original game because this came out after, like, during the second, third season when it was in its classic era. But there are actually references to more modern SpongeBob episodes in this game that they added, which is really cool, like that handsome Squidward picture right there.
Where's his painting?
Another thing is actually, you actually just got a golden spatula because you were jumping around, basically. It's one of my favorite missions in the game that you actually just glossed over completely, but Squidward tells you to just jump around, it'll make him smile, and then you jump around a few times, it gives you a golden spatula, which is a fun little guide. Also, that's another fun little thing. When you swat the picture, it gives him a mustache. Although for some reason Squidward doesn't go hey, which is weird. Also, you need to break his moose above the fireplace. You got this. There you go. And whenever you break everything in Squidward's house, you get another sock. So there you go.
Boy, Patrick will be
Squidward
glad to
looks
have this
awfully
back.
small in this room compared to how he did in the original, which is weird, but okay, keep going.